Good evening. That's the work of our presentation directors. Let's give them a hand. In this opening presentation, you'll see the overview of research we've done this semester.
Our 5 teams interviewed people in many departments across campus who worked with students from admission to graduation to ensure the success at KU.
We've conducted a dozen focus groups with KU students who represent the broad spectrum of student life.
We traveled to other leading universities to learn how they engage students in order to strengthen retention and graduation rates.
And finally, we interviewed alumni who told us what being a Jayhawk means to them.
What you're about to see is a collaborative effort, all of us in campaigns working together.
I'm Alex West, and I'm the account coordinator for Rock Chalk Communications, formerly known as the Blue Team.
And I'm Heidi Troutman, account coordinator for Cultivators, formerly known as Pink Team. Now here's Elise Jackie Corbin to tell you about our 5 teams conducting our research.
Thanks, Heidi. 3 months ago, here in Alderson Auditorium, we met our clients for the first time. Dr. Jane Tuttle, Chris Stone-Sawalish,
Jenny McKee, and Curtis Marsh, collectively known as the Jayhawk Commission.
You asked us to work with you to answer one simple question.
What does it mean to be a Jayhawk? As you saw in the opening video, the question is simple, but the answer is not. Most of the students we asked couldn't give us an answer.
So we started by asking the people who have been here for a while, KU administrators and leaders who have worked with generations of Jayhawks and still do today.
With the help of our clients, we identified all of the KU departments that work with students. Each of our teams focused on specific groups and interviewed the key people. Here's what my team learned. Our team interviewed the Office of First Year Experience, the Office of Undergraduate Research,
The Academic Accelerator Program, and the KU Alumni Association. In the Office of First Year Experience, we interviewed Sarah Crawford Parker, Katie Treadwell, and Howard Graham. They said that even as freshmen, KU students value giving back and being active in the community and on campus.
They said that students choose KU not just for academic prestige, but also for the sense of unity in an open and diverse community.
For each student, the KU experience depends on their individual identity and background. Each student brings a personal perspective and a set of expectations.
The Office of First Year Experience constantly asks, how do we get all students to thrive so that they can succeed?
The answer is by engaging them and getting them involved.
Dr. John Augusto identified 3 types of students based on involvement. Type 1 students are very involved, engaged, and visible on campus. They want to set the world on fire.
Type 2 students are involved in 1 or 2 things. They're open to suggestion and additional experience, including the opportunity to do research.
Type 3 students are uninvolved in KU activities, usually because of off-campus commitments, such as jobs. KU's challenge is to get them involved.
Dr. Augusto said, to most students, KU is a big place. When students feel that they belong to a community, then KU become more of their size.
The Academic Accelerator Program, or AAP, helps international students adapt to the new environment. Dr. John Dahlstrand directs this new program.
Dr. Dahlstrand said international students need help in dealing with culture shock, homesickness, and language barriers. The Academic Accelerator Program helps them to get off to a fast start at KU by making them feel more comfortable and supported.
Dr. Dahlstrand spoke highly of the international student organizations at KU. These groups help students make new friends and get involved in campus life.
During the semester, we've conducted 2 focus groups with Chinese students. In the first group, we interviewed students of all ages, from freshmen to seniors. In the second group, we focus on students who are freshmen that are currently in Academic Accelerator Program.
In our interviews at the KU Alumni Association with Paige Hofer, Jennifer Sanner, and David Johnston, we learned so much that our whole class went back to meet with them again.
Paige coordinates student programs with the Student Alumni Association. Jennifer is Senior VP for Communications and edits the Kansas Alumni Magazine. David is VP for Internet Services and Marketing.
In our individual interviews and as a class, We learned much about the Alumni Association and its key role in building relationships that benefit the university.
Now, here's Erica and Heidi to share their teens' interviews.
We interviewed Precious Porras in the Office of Multicultural Affairs and conducted focus groups with members of the Black Student Union and Hispanic American Leadership Organization.
We also interviewed staff member with the Kansas Union and Dr. Frank DeSalvo, Associate Vice Provost for Student Affairs. Finally, we interviewed the leaders of SILK, the Student Involvement and Leadership Center.
The Office of Multicultural Affairs helped from underrepresented populations to find direction support services that can enhance their academic and personal development.
We interviewed Precious Porras, Associate Director in the Sabatini Multicultural Resource Center. She said the multicultural students may sometimes feel they don't fit in.
Precious told us about HawkLink, a program especially designed to assist students of color and first-generation college students in navigating their first year at KU.
Her office helps students find a balance between their academic and social experience.
Black Student Union engages African American students in discussion on several issues affecting students and the surrounding communities.
The Hispanic American Leadership Organization, or HALO, serves as a support system for Hispanic and Latino students.
The Black Student Union gave us a valuable perspective about students of color here on campus.
In the HALO focus group, students suggested that KU should conduct cultural competency training for faculty and staff members to help multicultural students feel comfortable.
Both groups said they felt very much at home in the Sabatini Multicultural Resource Center. A common theme in both groups is that they want to feel a part of KU and not isolated.
The Kansas Union holds a special place in the heart of KU students. We interviewed these managers and then took the whole class to a meeting where we learned about the union's plans for the future.
The union held a special place in my heart because I've worked here for all 4 years. The union employs hundreds of KU students. I work with Keith Lake, the manager of the market. KU Dining Services in the union and the residence halls feeds thousands of KU students every day.
Michelle Compton, marketing director, said the union activities help students grow socially by making friends in the hundreds of clubs and organizations that make their home in the union.
When we asked Mike Reed what makes KU unique, he explained the importance of tradition at KU. Mike is KU's keeper of Jayhawk traditions. His collection of Jayhawks are proudly displayed throughout the union. If you want to know what it means to be a Jayhawk, ask him.
Dr. Frank DeSalvo told us about the work that Professor Basso's campaigns class did 5 years ago that led to the development of the Jayhawk Buddy System.
Every KU student knows about the buddy system. You can't walk into a KU classroom or across campus without seeing a student wearing a buddy system t-shirt.
The Buddy System basically promotes protective behavior, the feeling that Jayhawks take care of each other.
Dr. DeSalvo explained that most KU students feel a sense of togetherness. We help each other out and feel that we are all in this together. Our sense of pride and tradition brings us together as a family.
Dr. DeSalvo said that students hold the power to make their KU experience anything they want it to be.
The Student Involvement Leadership Center, or SILK, aims to help every student make a difference. The SILK team teaches leadership and life skills beyond what students can learn in the classroom.
The SILK team told us that they want students to develop an independent spirit. They encourage students not to accept the status quo, but to show independence and a progressive attitude.
Getting involved in a club or an organization can help a new student form a sense of community, which helps KU not seem so big.
SILK also told us that KU students do care about each other, and even though it might not always seem apparent. This interconnectivity defines Jayhawks and our sense of pride and tradition.
Now here's Claire and Jackie to share their team's interviews.
Our team, Rise Above Communications, was responsible for researching these KU directors.
Mary Chappell of the KU Recreation Center.
David Decker and Mark Wilson of the KU Endowment Association.
Kathy Rose Mockery of the Emily Taylor Women's Center.
Dan and Heidi Simon of the KU Endowment and KU Admissions.
Nate Thomas, Vice Provost for Diversity and Equity.
and Lisa Pinamani Kress of KU Admissions.
Mary Chappell described the rec center as a great source of relieving stress.
Mary said that the rec center is designed for students and by the students.
The center provides year-round access to recreation for all KU students.
Jenny, on our field trips, you've constantly shown us how keeping students healthy is vital to their success.
David Decker and Mark Wilson told us all about the Far Above campaign. KU students, past and present, share the feeling that they're involved in a community.
They recognize that every KU student wants to make a difference. KU Endowment emphasizes that making a difference enhances the Jayhawk experience.
David and Mark told us that the Jayhawk experience is more personalized today than ever before.
KU Endowment conducts research, just like we've done here, to identify what makes the Jayhawk experience unique and how to enhance it for every Jayhawk.
Kathy Rose Mockery directs the Emily Taylor Women's Center. She gave us an interesting insight into how KU compares to her previous alma mater, UCLA, and why she chose to work at KU.
She said that KU today puts more emphasis on community engagement and involvement than UCLA ever did during her time there. She believes KU still excels in getting students involved thanks to the many clubs that present opportunities.
Kathy told us that tradition is important at KU. Beginning with Traditions Night, students start to learn about the KU culture.
KU puts a high value on being an individual, on innovation and entrepreneurship. Programs like Bold Aspirations encourage students to seek their own identity and to define for themselves what it means to be a Jayhawk.
Dan and Heidi Simon both work for KU. Dan in Endowment and Heidi in Admissions. Both Dan and Heidi are KU alumni.
Everyone who works at KU is committed to the student's success. Dan and Heidi explained to us that sometimes students need to be made aware of KU resources that can help them, especially when they're struggling to succeed.
We also discussed the feeling you get by being a part of the Jayhawk community. That feeling is so unique that it's almost impossible to put into words.
As you saw in our opening video, current Jayhawks have trouble defining it too. But after we interviewed over 44 alumni, we finally understood what it meant to be a Jayhawk.
Nate Thomas told us that it is important to help students get comfortable with being outside of their comfort zone. Immersing students in a variety of cultural situations will help them to prepare for when they leave KU.
He believes what sets KU apart is that we have a rich history. It's a place where you can be larger than yourself.
Nate said that during his short time here at KU, he has found that students are very proactive, ready, and willing to take action.
Helping students to find their own voice is a key part of the evolution of a Jayhawk.
Lisa Pinamonte Kress is a walking ad campaign for KU. Lisa said that students value KU for academics, plus the feeling of being part of the Jayhawk community. She said that the list of student opportunities and services is just too big to name.
When Lisa recruits for KU, she describes 4 factors. 1, outstanding academics. 2, challenging opportunities. 3, affordability, and 4, the Jayhawk community.
Lisa said that the minute you arrive at KU, you immediately become part of the Jayhawk family. She said that admissions representatives travel all around the country, acting as the face of the university, and help create the human connection.
Now here's Kate and Kelsey to share their team's experiences.
Our team was responsible for researching these areas of KU.
Kip Grosshands, Associate Director of Student Housing.
Mary Clater, Associate Director of Undergraduate Studies and Honors Program Advisory Board Member.
Lucy Russell, Assistant Vice Provost of Undergraduate Studies.
Ann Cudd, Vice President and Dean of Undergraduate Studies.
Jennifer Wamalink, Associate Director of Resident Life.
And Michael Wade Smith, Director of External Affairs for the Business School. Kip Grosshands told us how KU residence halls make first-year students become acclimated with the university.
Kip's knowledge of the university is impressive. He explained that each building is distinct and reflects our campus' historical roots.
He says students learn to respect the traditions that make KU special and take pride in adding to the Jayhawk legacy. When it's their turn to pass the torch, students do so by personalizing the KU experience and making it their own.
Kip observed that students who learn to value KU's traditions are typically well-connected socially, academically, and personally.
Mary Clater directs KU undergraduate studies and is a member of the Honors Program Advisory Board.
Mary's role as an advisor gives her unique insight. She meets with students every day and helps them on their journey to graduation.
Mary said, KU has a sense of challenge, lots of opportunities, inclusion, and a culture of talking to your neighbor.
Mary said that academics and the comfort to choose your own academic path was important to student success.
She said that all students need to find the path that's best for them, even if it's a field they knew nothing about before coming to KU.
Mary feels that it's KU's role to help students find the best fit academically, not just a path towards a diploma. Lucy Russell oversees many student organizations, including the Writing Center, KU Info, and the Career Center.
She said that KU students value the ability to communicate well and to articulate themselves.
She said that KU is unique because it offers students a wide variety of opportunities to work on campus.
In addition to the money that they earn, students can develop skills they will need later on in the workforce.
Dr. Ann Cudd oversees many programs that help future Jayhawks transition into becoming actual KU students. These programs include first-year experience, KU Core Curriculum Committee, and academic tutoring.
In 2013, KU implemented the KU Core, which serves as a common thread among all majors.
Dr. Cudd said that when students become involved in smaller communities and organizations, they create a deeper connection with KU.
She says that when they come to a large university, most students can feel overwhelmed by the variety of choices. The organizations she works with help students to step out of their comfort zone and dive into different experiences.
Jennifer Wamelink gave us her perspective on students' first-year experience, specifically within the residence halls.
She explained that they perceive KU as a very fun and spirited place, full of endless opportunity along with pride of tradition.
Jennifer believes that a social and academic connection to the university are both essential to student success. Finding a balance and taking things in moderation is important for students' well-being, and it is critical for their success.
She said that students have a respect for a legacy of KU, as well as their legacy as an alumni. They feel a sense of pride in what they do, and this drives them to be better students, people, and Jayhawks.
Jennifer said KU's culture of activism and open-mindedness is part of what makes it such a great place to be.
She believes that establishing a relationship outside of the classroom, such as with an RA, could prove beneficial and could help students progress and learn at KU.
Michael Wade Smith told us about his work with brand identity.
Michael explained that the KU Business School focuses on finding students who will thrive as Jayhawks.
Michael described how KU students value relationships with friends, teachers, and students.
He said he has seen campuses where there are smart people or kind people, but here at KU, our students and staff are both kind and smart.
Michael discussed how KU needs to be honest with prospective students about who we are as a university and not represent ourselves as something we are not.
He believes that instead of marketing KU as the flagship university, we should market ourselves as a community-based university that values academic success and achievement.
Now here are Elise and Natalie to share what their team learned.
Our team was responsible for researching these areas of KU.
Jane McQueenie of Institutional Opportunity and Access.
Tamara Durham of Student Affairs.
Tim Caboni, Jack Martin, and Gavin Young of KU Public Affairs.
Jane McQueenie provides leadership on issues of discrimination, including sexual assault and harassment on campus for students, faculty, and staff.
She gave us a great answer of what keeps students from succeeding socially, personally, or academically.
She said, if you don't expose yourself to things that are broader than yourself, your thought process will be too narrow and it doesn't make you a very good leader.
In our focus group research, we learned that students crave leadership positions and involvement opportunities, but they are often unsure of where to seize these opportunities.
Most students eventually end up finding their place at KU.
We want to make it easier and faster for them.
Dr. Durham's responsibilities include meeting students' needs outside of the classroom, including the Kansas Union, dining, the rec center, the health center, and housing.
Once a Jayhawk, always a Jayhawk. Dr. Durham said that Jayhawks feel connected to each other no matter where they are in the world.
She said, quote, "You can see pride even when you leave campus. When you see someone wearing a KU shirt, you can automatically engage in conversation with them."
Dr. Durham said that pride is a common thread with KU students, faculty, and staff. It's a starting point when you want to describe what it means to be a Jayhawk. Our challenge in this project was to see what creates this pride in being a Jayhawk.
Tim Caboni, Jack Martin, and Gavin Young came to our class to share their experience related to our project.
Tim Caboni said differentiation is imperative when communicating the KU brand.
Gavin Young said that the university has a responsibility to help students overcome that first fork in the road during their freshman year.
Jack Martin said the most successful students are those who are able to find their micro community. Students who make campus more relatable can find success more quickly.
Throughout the semester, we've conducted 12 focus groups at KU with many different types of students. Some freshmen, some seniors, some in-state and some out-of-state. Some born into the Jayhawk Nation and others pioneers of it. We've listened to many diverse stories of the many Jayhawk journeys.
A common theme we've heard in these focus groups is about the Midwest mentality. One student said, "Good people come to Kansas. Midwest mentality can make your day." The pulse of KU comes from the students who fill it. That's the heartbeat of the Jayhawk.
One student said, "I don't think being a Jayhawk is describable. It's something you embody. You have to carve your own niche here. There's something for everybody here."
After we finished our research at KU, we traveled to 3 other universities to see what we could learn from them.
One member of each team traveled with Chris, Jenny, and Professor Basso to Michigan State and the University of Michigan on April 8th through the 10th.
Then in the following week, a different member of each team traveled to the University of Iowa. These universities welcomed us and gave us the opportunity to visit with their leaders, including administrators, students, faculty, and staff.
Altogether, 10 of us had this opportunity to visit these leading universities to see how they've explored these same issues. We are deeply grateful for their hospitality and the insight they have given us. The 5 campaigns you're about to see are based on these insights. Now I'd like to invite my teammates to join me for the first presentation.